Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host, Rusty Peace, and we have got an action-packed show in store for you tonight. We'll be talking with Jenny Michael, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters, as she talks about the 2013 season and, of course, the recruiting trail that is now the main focus for the 2014 campaign. We'll also talk a little bit later on tonight with Roger Hodge about the Lady Railsplitters' early season success and about this weekend's battle with the Cobras of Coker University down in the Snake's Den of Hartsville, South Carolina. That's coming up a little bit later on. We'll talk about the latest NABC men's basketball Division II rankings this week. The Railsplitters falling back a little bit in that poll. And we'll give you a little insight into that, as well as how the Railsplitters have done in the last week or so, and what's coming up this week in terms of South Atlantic Conference play for Josh Schertz and his squad. Got a great show in store for you. We'll also give you an insight as to what's going to take place next week in terms of LMU's involvement in the annual Rojo shopping spree. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Let's talk men's basketball, folks. In spite of suffering their first loss of the season more than a week ago, Josh Schertz and the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team were successfully included among the top 25 teams in the latest NABC Division II coaches poll that was released on Tuesday afternoon by the National Basketball Coaches Association. The national ranking marks the 45th consecutive week that the LMU men's basketball program has been ranked among the nation's elite programs in Division II NCAA men's basketball. After falling a week ago Tuesday to unranked South Atlantic Conference opponent Anderson University 84-79, that was at home in the Tex Turner Arena, the Railsplitters fell out of the number 13 spot and back into the 23 position in this week's poll. The announcement came only days after the Railsplitters bounced back with a 99-63 win over regional opponent Bob Jones University, and prior to their road meeting this Saturday with newly accredited league opponent Coker University in Hartsville, South Carolina. The Railsplitters are now 5-1 overall and 2-1 in conference play as they enter the Snake's Den this weekend to take on the Cobras, while the Coker Cobras are 4-2 overall and 1-2 in league action, entering their first meeting with Lincoln Memorial. Saturday's action is set for a 4 p.m. tip-off in Hartsville, South Carolina, and will follow the Lady Railsplitters game with Coker that gets underway at 2 p.m. Both games will be carried through the LMU Sports Network, beginning with pregame coverage at 1:40 on WLMU 91.3 FM, on the World Wide Web at www.lmurailsplitters.com, and of course at 913thegap.com. Moving over to women's soccer, the Lincoln Memorial University women's soccer defender Sam Adams has been named to the NSCAA All-Southeast Region first team by the head coaches throughout the region. Adams, also an all-SAC first-team selection, was one of 5 women's players from the South Atlantic Conference voted to this year's All-Southeast Region first team, and one of 15 individuals from the league named to either the first, second, or third team. This year, Adams helped the Lady Railsplitters amass a 10-8-1 overall record, which included a trip to the SAC tournament semifinals and 7 shutouts among the 19 matches in which they played. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, recently the Lincoln Memorial University volleyball team closed out the 2013 season. The Lady Railsplitters finished the year with an 18-13 overall record while tying for 3rd place in the regular season standings and taking the 4th seed in the 2013 Food Lion South Atlantic Conference tournament in Newberry, South Carolina. Unfortunately, the Lady Railsplitters fell in that opening round, and here to talk about this year's season is Jenny Michael, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters. And Coach, while we did fall a little earlier this year than we would have liked to have had, all in all, I look at it as just a tremendous season because we lost so many key role players from a year ago, a lot of talent. This was a very young team and one that you're going to get your base foundation back. And so we've got a lot to look forward to in the upcoming future.
We really do, and we are all disappointed that our season was cut a little shorter than we had anticipated, but we definitely are using that as fuel to the fire to prepare for next season, starting with our spring training coming up when we get back from the holiday season. And, you know, we just finished up with our end of season meetings with all the girls, and I can't even express to you in words the excitement that was portrayed. You know, obviously there was disappointment from the fact that we felt like we could have easily been practicing this week, and you know, today was kind of a tough day because it would have been the day that we would have traveled to go to the regional tournament. So that being said, though, there was still so much excitement in our gym and in the office, just, you know, wanting to be back on the court, wanting to prepare, wanting to be better. I think that we will be a very, very dangerous team because we will have an extremely large chip on our shoulder coming into next season.
You know, with the exception of maybe Caitlin Walton and Chelsea Farron, who are outgoing seniors and they will graduate with their degrees, when you look at the Lady Railsplitters and the fact that they do get the 90% of their lineup back a year from now, and you look at the fact that with the exception of Wingate University, who was somewhat head and shoulders above the crowd of everybody else, there was so much even keel in the conference this year. You combine that with the fact that now the SAC presidents have voted to lift the scholarship restriction. I know that you'll be increased over a period of time. It's got to be exciting to know that you're going to have more money to work with, and that's going to help this program.
Absolutely. You know, I know that the institutions have all agreed to slowly implement that increase. So, but definitely over the next several seasons, we'll be excited to be able to go out and go after some young ladies that, you know, perhaps before they were very interested in us, but, you know, money at times has been an issue, and they've had opportunities to perhaps pursue a full scholarship, as the kind of buzzword is around athletics, at, you know, some smaller mid-major D1 schools.
Well, from your standpoint, I look at it as a head coach for Lincoln Memorial, a school that has made the decision to give its programs those increments over a period of time. I see it helping you even further in that we're already one of the elite teams in the conference over the last 6 or 7 years. It could push us up there to the 2 spot or even the 1 spot in comparison to Wingate, because there are some schools that I've talked to. I talked with Tony Fontanelle over at Mars Hill. He informed me that Mars Hill will not increase their scholarship money.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens, and you know, something that's just beyond your control is, you know, what some of the individual institutions decide to do, either at the, you know, from their athletic director at the presidential level. And while this year I thought that we saw some unbelievable parity just from top to bottom going into the very last match of the season, you know, some teams, including ourselves, with a win we could have finished as high as 2nd. With a loss we could have, and as we did, finish in a 4-way tie for 3rd place. So I think that that will, unfortunately, you know, kind of create some powers, you know, and create some teams that maybe aren't as fortunate. But again, you know, there's some great coaches in this conference, and I'd like to think that we've all been able to do it without necessarily a lot of money so far, and I think that a lot of these coaches in the conference will be able to continue to do it even if the athletic scholarships aren't quite where.
with the loss
Equalist.
of with the loss of Caitlin Walton and Chelsea Farron, your seniors, you not only lose someone on the right side, someone of a defensive specialist, libero position, you lose a lot of experience and leadership in that aspect. But when we saw Casey Mincy go down at the end of the season, we also lost a lot of help in there in the serve receive and the ball control area. So now for you, and I know this is a never-ending process, the recruiting becomes a priority, and obviously you've got your work cut out for you in locating those players to take the floor in replacement of those individuals and to better this team a year from now.
Absolutely. We did have one early signee that we can talk about because it's all official now and all that stuff. A young lady, Kiara Holland from South Carolina area. She's going to be a very dynamic athlete coming in and really adding some spunk in our already pretty powerful offensive lineup. Having her in there, she will come in and definitely be one of the most athletic offensive people that we have. And she's going to need time to develop, which is nice because I think once she develops, she's going to be a very, very nice player for us. But we have so much, as you mentioned, we have so much talent returning from this year's squad, and we're all excited to get in the gym this spring and work harder and improve our technique, get stronger, get faster. It's going to be a real battle for playing time next year across the board.
It's got to feel good to have all-conference accolade-type players like Jazzy Oates or Abby Cash coming back. They're both, Abby Cash will only be a sophomore, Oates will be in her junior season, I believe. But you've got Allison Beavers, who I think is still not reached her potential of play from the right side in the setter position. And you've got some other young and up-and-coming players, Brooke Fleeman, I think a couple of other individuals that we saw big moments from throughout the season that really had to, and I know you don't like to look at it from a youth standpoint, but they had to really kind of work their way through their first year of collegiate volleyball in order to get past that and say, hey, now I have no excuses from now on.
Right, and to be honest, it was a motto that we stuck to this year, to not talk about our youth, but season's over and it's okay to talk about it now. I said to you in the beginning, kind of off the camera, maybe a little bit on, we were really young and dumb this year. And we are going to sorely miss our seniors because it's not easy. We only had 2 seniors and everybody else was underclassmen out of a roster of 14. So we told them, it was tough. It was tough for them to help, wrangle in all our little hooligans, but they did a great job and they set a great example for our younger kids. We have a lot of youth. We had a lot of youth that gained valuable experience. No matter what you do in practice, there's just a certain feel on game day when you're in a pressure situation that you can't replace. So they got a lot of experience doing that this year.
Well, Coach, it was certainly an exciting season and one that I know Lady Railsplitter fans loved. We're looking forward to 2014 and what this team's got in store for us next year. And I want to congratulate you on another great finish and wish you the best luck in the recruiting process.
Thank you, sir.
Jenny Michael and the Lady Railsplitters, again, they will be in action somewhere on a TV near you and, of course, on a court near you next late August or early September in the 2014 season. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk with Roger Hodge, head coach of the Lady Railsplitter basketball team. That's when we'll return on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Top off at mycokerewards.com.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
the OTG is the place to be.
I will help families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. The USA Today Division II Top 25 Women's Basketball Coaches Poll was also released on Tuesday, and no South Atlantic Conference teams were ranked among the field. However, a testament to the Lady Railsplitters' strength of schedule was definitely given as Lewis University, the University of Indianapolis, Wingate University, Lenoir-Rhyne University, and Winston-Salem State University all received votes in this week's poll. The Lady Railsplitters lost their opening game of the season to Winston-Salem State by 4 points on the road and are set to play the University of Indianapolis and Lewis University in a week and a half from now in their final two non-conference games of the regular season before departing for the holiday break. This weekend, the LMU women traveled to the state of South Carolina to take on new SAC member Coker University. The Coker women are 4-3 on the year and 2-1 in league play, while the Lady Railsplitters are 4-2 overall and 3-1 in the South Atlantic Conference. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. in Hartsville, South Carolina. And here to talk about that meeting and, of course, about the start here in the 2013 portion of the 2013-14 season, Roger Hodge, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters. Coach, welcome.
Thank you very much, Rusty.
It's been a good start for this team. I know that you've got 17 total players. I think one of them might have redshirted. I wasn't told that originally, but I found that out by way of the grapevine. But all in all, a 4-point loss to a team that's garnered some votes to get into the top 25. A loss recently that was one that was arguably a very winnable game and possibly one that I think we'll get back when they come to our place. Very easily, this team right now could be 6-0.
Well, and you talk about, kind of where we are as a program. I think that, Saturday was against Newberry was, I don't know if it was a wake-up call or an exposure. Again, we did have chances to win that basketball game, but even though we've shown promise up to this point, I think where we're not happy as a coaching staff is with our uneven play. We've been erratic. I think that the game against Anderson, we put together a really nice second half and in a fairly consistent manner. But against Newberry, we never seemed to be really into the ball game. We struggled on both ends of the floor in different aspects, and it was a disappointing loss. But at the same time, I think our kids came out of it with the attitude of, okay, we get what you're trying to tell us now. We're seeing our inconsistent play, and even though we played inconsistently and not very well, we were certainly capable and had chances to beat one of the upper echelon teams in our league. So, while it was a disappointing loss, our kids have responded well in practice this week, and we'll see what it does for us this weekend.
I did not see the game in its entirety live. I have seen bits and pieces of it since that point. But one of the things that I noticed in the final statistics is that, we have things typically go wrong on the average night, whether it be turn the ball over too many times, maybe not hitting the three, maybe not getting the inside production that we need. But on this particular outing against Newberry, it seemed like there was a joint group of things that all happened at the same time, and I don't know that this is a team that has the room for error that all those things can happen on the average day. And I haven't seen, in fact, I've not seen either of the losses, so I've seen 4 games this year. But in the games that I've seen us play, when we seem to play the best is when our ball movement is sharp, crisp, and very fast. Because I think you have, and I said this to Coach Acton in the radio show on Monday night, I think you have the individuals, especially in the starting 5 out there on the floor, that are capable of playing at that tempo of a game. And when that ball movement is crisp and fast like that, we have been very, very impressive.
Well, and I'm not one to kind of publicly call my team out, in a normal situation. But I will say this: one thing that we've talked about this week in practice is getting back to what we do best, both as a team and individually. And I thought there was a lot of situations where we forced some shots. We were very impatient offensively. We had drivers trying to become jump shooters and vice versa, and so we've discussed that, at length in terms of, okay, you need to do what you do well and not try to go outside the box so much. And part of that is, the ball movement was not very good, against Newberry. And it was a lot of, kind of one-on-one, and I'm going to try to get my shot, and not in a selfish manner, but more in an impatient manner, and not waiting for, execution within the offense and taking the first shot, not the best shot. And but again, we're working awfully hard to get better. Our kids were, one thing that we as a staff noticed was the disappointment level after the game. And teams that care, you can tell it on a loss. And our kids were really, really hurt by this loss and kind of determined to get better.
I think if there was a positive aspect out of the game, it's hard to pull positives out of a loss sometimes, but you faced off, as far as our inside game, against one of the better inside players in the league in Haley Lapeo. I thought we did an excellent job on her in the first half, and really it could have been a situation. She's a big and physical player, but she plays with a lot of finesse as well. It really could have been much worse than it was, and I think it elevated itself a little bit in the second half in terms of her final margin of scoring, but I thought we did a good job defensively on her in the first half.
I thought at times we did a really good job, and at times she was able to kind of have her way. So, I mean, again, it was a little bit uneven, and I think part of that, Miranda Bodie guarded her for the majority of the game, and Miranda is one of the better defenders, I think, in our region, and playing against one of the better post players in our region, if not the best. It was a good matchup, a hard-fought matchup, on a personal level between those two. Miranda had some foul issues, and I think was, a little tentative in terms of, being worried about foul trouble. But, again, I don't know that it was as Haley, as good as she is, that really killed us. They got contributions from some people that they probably didn't expect to get from, that did a nice job for them and pulled them through.
Well, obviously the game now behind us. I mean, you're still 4-2 on the year. You're 3-1 in league play, so you're in the upper crust of the conference race. Still early, obviously, and now you got to turn to Coker this weekend, a team that we're going to face on their floor for the first time, and obviously being a new SAC member, they're eager to get in the mix, and they're a team that, quite frankly, comes in with some mixed success on their own. I mean, they're 4-3 and 2-1 in the league, so this is going to be an early season battle that might tell some stories on down the line.
Well, they are a very explosive offensive team, and life on the road is not always easy for anyone, and they're a team that is going to be very difficult to handle defensively because they have so many weapons. They have shooters, they have big, strong kids that can drive, they have post players who are very physical, rebound it well, and can score. So we're going to have to be very sharp defensively, and we'll certainly have to be more efficient on the offensive end if we're going to have a chance down in Hartsville.
Obviously, you have, as I like to allude to, taken over the reins of the preparation, the final touches for this weekend's game. I know that Coach Washington and Coach Acton got the week started for you. You were on the road recruiting and scouting. Specifically, let's just put Coker aside. What are the things we've got to improve this weekend in order to maximize our potential of picking up the win?
Offensive and defensive efficiency is at the top of my list in terms of, getting the best offensively, getting the best out of our possessions, not turning the ball over like we have. Then on the defensive end, not giving up second shots, covering out on shooters, being able to determine and knowing the personnel in the scouting report in terms of, who's trying to drive the ball hard. And, they've got one of the better shooters in our league in Haley Yon. She's a kid that can flat out fill it up, and then their leading scorer is a Stinson kid that can put it on the floor and attack the rim with any of them. So, I think those are the main factors in our success.
Well, Coach, best of luck Saturday against the Cobras. I know I've heard a lot of Lady Railsplitter fans talking about what they've seen in the Tex Turner. They're loving what they see. Excitement very much back in Lady Railsplitter basketball, and we wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate it, Rusty.
Roger Hodge and his team, 2 o'clock on Saturday against the Cobras, and I'll have your call. Let's take this time out. We'll be back right after this on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
I deal with life and death situations.
We touch a lot of lives every day.
People's lives are in your hands.
I will be a nurse.
I will be a nurse.
The Duncan School of Law at LMU, where innovative teaching meets cutting-edge technology.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
We represent the Coke brand, and we would love to somehow bring some kind of legal action against Coke Zero.
There might be some taste infringement issues.
There's really no legal concepts of a company bringing a lawsuit against itself.
If this is the king of the jungle, they're acting like the toucan that's on the branch, real colorful and preening, and showing off, and hey, look at us. I want to take a stick and knock that toucan off the branch.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. One of the area's best-kept secrets when it comes to piping hot fast food is World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center. No matter whether it's chicken tenders, chicken wraps, burgers, or hot wings in a variety of flavors, WOW has a menu that's second to none. Try one of our fantastic sides like our fried mushrooms, fried pickles, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, our famous cheese fries, sweet potato fries, or our Texas toast. Shock your taste buds at WOW World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Again, we want to remind you that that series with Coker University on Saturday gets underway at 2 o'clock with the first tip-off. I'll have pregame coverage on the LMU Sports Network at 1:40 with Roger Hodge. We'll carry that over into the men's broadcast, and I'll be talking with Josh Schertz as well about this weekend's battle with the Cobras. So do join us as LMU travels to Hartsville, South Carolina for their first meeting against Coker University in basketball. Also, we want to remind you, next Wednesday, the LMU Athletics Department, various athletic teams, various coaches and staff will be involved with the annual RoHo Shopping Spree, which will take place over at the Middlesboro Walmart from 9 until noon for the area's needy children as selected by the principals of the area elementary schools. LMU's Athletics Department, of course, will serve as RoHo helpers, helping those children shop for the items that they need for the upcoming Christmas holiday. And it's just a great cause. We're going to have a future show on that here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report, as we do each year. We'll talk with RoHo members, we'll talk with LMU Athletics Department personnel, and we'll talk with student athletes about the actual event, about what it means to them, and the cause that it's for. And that's coming up in the next few weeks here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. That's about all the time we have for tonight's show. Until next week, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Find out what's going on with LMU Athletics. Good night, everybody.